Hi, everybody. My name is Durkin Robinson. I'm with Doula Services. I'm an end-of-life doula and educator here in Chicago. And I am grateful for the opportunity to talk to the people that are on this call. I'm also recording this for folks who cannot make the call today. And also I'm going to eventually put this up on YouTube so that it's available for folks who are subscribed to me as well. So thanks for joining. We're going to talk about decluttering today. Decluttering not only our home, but our life. And what's great about this topic is the more I talk about it, the more I learn about it, the more I realize that there are so many folks out there in the community, in every community, really dedicated, ethical, wonderful, compassionate professionals who will help you do this. You are not in this alone. If you have like just what feels like an overwhelming amount of clutter in your home, there are people who will come in and do this for you. But my topic today is really about what's manageable, what my clients want to do before they die. Sometimes I hear from people who want to do this just decades before a diagnosis, which I support. So many times we wait until this small little period of time at the end of our lives and we feel overwhelmed. That's the time where we're finally decluttering our home. We're finally making post-death plans, like, about funerals and memorial services. That's when we start to think about advanced care directives and last will and testaments. So really, the more we can do now, way, way ahead of time, not only it makes for a better death someday, but a better life right now. So I'm happy to be talking about this with you all. And I'm going to skip through this part of it. Everybody kind of knows to mute their microphone, and we're going to have a Q&A afterwards that I won't record so that people on the call who feel really like they want some time to answer personal questions on any topic related to death and dying, I will turn off the recording so that they have the chance to do that privately. But before we get started, what I like to encourage everybody on this call or who's watching this video is to just kind of center themselves. Talking about end of life issues isn't always easy. And I want to take a moment to acknowledge that, to acknowledge what we bring to the conversation. We bring our own fears, anxieties, anticipatory grief, kind of pressure to get this right, all of that to this conversation. So let's acknowledge it. Let's check in with ourselves. And while we're doing that, I'd like you to think about what possessions, memories, and mementos fill your living space with meaning, but also with clutter. Think about the people in your life who contribute nothing but chaos, toxicity, and drama. Are you ready instead for a decluttered kind of life, more space, maybe peace and love? The earlier you let go of those people and those possessions that no longer serve you, the more satisfying your life will be. This is especially true as you get older. Decluttering frees your children and other loved ones from the burden of this work. Instead, you'll leave behind a legacy of love, tidiness, and order. As an experienced death doula supporting clients letting go in all kinds of ways, I've gathered some helpful hints along the way. So use these suggestions to reduce clutter in your home, including what to throw away, what to keep, and what to donate. And I'll also share some ideas about how to let go of people too. So first things first, before you begin, I encourage you to take a comprehensive look at your home, your living space. Identify the areas that need the most attention, such as closets, the attic, the basement, maybe your own personal study. Some folks have storage areas, rooms, sheds. maybe facilities. Go through everything, but do it without judging yourself. Knowing where to begin and the scope of the job itself will make this whole process much more manageable. Determine what you hope to achieve through decluttering. My clients often want to create a more peaceful living environment. Others want to make it easier for loved ones to manage their possessions after they've gone. Maybe you'd like to prepare your home in order to sell it, or you simply want to enjoy a cleaner space. Either way, having clear goals will motivate you throughout this process. Categorize your belongings into essential items, sentimental items, and non-essential items. This will help make you better able to make informed decisions about what to keep, what to discard, and what to donate. So, what is an essential item? Well, that's something you've used within the last 3 to 12 months. A sentimental item is something that evokes strong emotions and memories. Non-essential items are everything else. So, what to throw away? Well, let's start with expired items. So, start in your kitchen and your bathroom by checking for expired food, medicine, and cosmetics. Dispose of anything past its use-by date. This can be fun, right? As you're getting rid of things that have expired, clean and organize the rest as you go. Don't flush drugs down the drain. Drop them into drug bins at participating drugstores instead. In some areas, it might be the sheriff's office. Also, look for broken and unrepairable items. These are items that are damaged beyond repair, and they should be discarded. Hanging on to these takes up space and serves no purpose. Also, duplicate items. Identify and eliminate duplicates. One can opener, for example, is sufficient. Keeping multiples only adds clutter. So get rid of those. Also, what about updated technology? Old electronics and gadgets that no longer work can be responsibly recycled or discarded. You know that drawer or shelf full of miscellaneous wires? Get rid of them. You'll sleep better at night, I assure you. And then also look at worn out clothing and linens. Dispose of clothes with irreparable damage or excessive wear and tear. Yes, that includes the gator sweatshirt with 3 different types of stains on it. You won't miss it, I promise. So what to keep? Well, essential documents. Store or file important documents like advance directives, insurance policies, and medical records in a safe place. What to keep? Sentimental items. Keep items with significant sentimental value, but be selective. This includes photographs, mementos, cards, journals, all kinds of things. Consider creating a designated memory box. Functional and useful items should be kept. Keep items that work well and serve a practical purpose in your daily life. Think quality over quantity. Opt for quality over quantity when it comes to clothing, furniture, and other possessions. Keep items you genuinely love and use. And then think about what to donate or sell. Choose charities and nonprofit organizations that mean something to you when donating items. You might consider downloading apps like Craigslist or OfferUp if you want to sell items and make some money. So what goes into those categories? Well, gently used clothing. Many thrift stores and charities will take clothes that look good without visible tears or stains. If you haven't worn them in the last 6 months or a year, but they still look good, consider donating them. What about furniture and household items? Check with local furniture banks and other charities. Many have trucks that will pick up large household items, even bicycles, pianos, and pool tables, as long as they're in good working order. Books and media. Libraries or community centers will take your books, movies, and other media you no longer need or consume. Sometimes it's really hard to get rid of books. But think about all the schools and community centers in your area that could use them, retirement communities. Sometimes I pass little community free bookstores. Like they're like not stores, they're like little, almost like birdhouses, but they have books. And once a month, just take a book you haven't read in a long time and let it live on in somebody else's home. Let it bring joy to another family. Same with your collectibles and antiques. Consider donating collectibles or antiques to museums or auction houses. I have some clients who would love to give their family members valuable silverware, dishes, and other expensive items. However, their family members don't want them. Therefore, they sell those items and bequeath the money to trust or college funds instead. And if you need some help in that area, let me know. There are great professionals in every community that will come out and assess your silverware and your china and other valuable items and give you a fair price for them. And then, like I said, you could take that money and bequeath it or fund your loved one's college savings accounts instead. Start small. Begin with a manageable area or category of belongings. Like sometimes that's just a single drawer. Other times it might be a closet or a bookshelf. I remember one time I lived in a fairly big house before we started downsizing, and I knew we were going to be moving in 6 months, and it just felt daunting to me. So every weekend during those 6 months, I picked a different closet drawer. Sometimes if I had a whole weekend to do it, I picked a room. And suddenly this overwhelming job was very doable, just in smaller chunks. Tackling small sections at a time, it helps to prevent anxiety. Then designate separate rooms or areas in your home for items you want to keep, throw away, and donate. You can use labeled boxes or bins to make the process much more organized. Also, don't be afraid to ask for help. Involve family members or friends. They provide emotional support. They help make tough decisions about sentimental items. And you can also turn it into a party. Serve wine or cocktails, food, snacks, play music in the background, or play movies you've seen a million times but still make you laugh while you're going through this process. Consider getting your neighbors in on the action. Together, you can all chip in for junk haulers, donation trucks, or host a community yard sale. You can get the kids to, set up a lemonade or Kool-Aid stand, and it can be more like a group party, especially during the summer months or spring months, or even autumn when it's really lovely outside. Like I mentioned before, you might also contact a professional. Certified organizers can bring an entire team to your home and get this done effectively while you take care of other issues. And always, no matter where you are, you can contact me for more ideas about those professional organizers or referrals, especially if you're in the Chicago area. If you're having a hard time letting go of personal belongings, perhaps you might benefit from a licensed mental health counselor. Meditation. How will you prepare for the big letting go at the end of your life? If you can't let go of items around the house you no longer use, I can recommend many therapists, especially in Chicago, for help with coping skills to better free yourself from such attachments. But be gentle with yourself. Decluttering is not a race. Set aside dedicated time each day or week to work on it at your own pace. If you have a large house, like I said, pick one room to declutter each weekend. You will be done before you know it. And you can do all this while respecting sentimental attachments. For items with sentimental value, take photos or write down their stories before letting them go. This allows you to preserve memories without keeping physical clutter. If you invite your family or loved ones into this, maybe take a week or 2 or 3 before you get started. Get colorized Post-its and invite them over for dinner, for parties, and tell them to write their names on these Post-its and then go around the house and pick what they want. That's a great way to ensure that what is sentimental and of value to you continues on in the homes of your loved ones. So have them go around, and that way they can also talk about what they want, why they want it. You can reminisce about the stories behind these items. And if 1 or 2 or 3 people want one item, they can talk about maybe compromising and sharing. And it just allows people to get this sort of thing sorted before they are grieving, mourning, and emotions run so high at that point that it's really much harder while we're mourning to compromise and to think clearly. So giving them an opportunity to do this ahead of time is really a wonderful gift to give. It's not a rule that you have to donate to local charities. So again, think about your loved one, ask them if they would like anything of meaning to them. And then that also may help you let go of certain items if they're going to stay within the family. I also want to encourage everybody to recycle and dispose properly. Recycle whenever possible. Hazardous materials like old paint or electronics should be disposed of according to local regulations. And again, take all medications to your local sheriff's office or drugstore rather than using trash or toilets. Decluttering in your personal life, including removing people who no longer serve you, can also significantly contribute to your overall well-being and reduce unnecessary suffering. It's part of the work we must do to let go of attachments, both during our lives and before our deaths. So here are some strategies for decluttering relationships. Self-reflection. Start by reflecting on your life and the people in it. Think about the loved ones who bring you joy, fulfillment, and happiness. Who causes stress, negativity, or suffering? This isn't easy work, but I'm always amazed by clients who feel lighter and free afterwards, wishing they'd done this so much earlier. Establish clear boundaries in your relationships. Identify behaviors or dynamics that cause you distress, and communicate your boundaries to whoever plays those roles. Boundaries help protect your emotional well-being. And so I encourage you to focus on your own needs, even if this feels strange to you. Pay attention to signs of unhealthy relationships, such as constant negativity, disrespect, or emotional manipulation. Instead, engage in open and honest communication, especially with people who cause suffering in your life. You can elicit the support of therapists in this area. They'll help you find positive ways to express your feelings, concerns, and needs. You can also give loved ones an opportunity to respond, right? And make necessary changes. You're letting them know how you feel. That is a gift. What they do with that gift is up to them. So understand that it's okay to distance yourself from people who no longer serve your well-being. You have the right to prioritize your own happiness and peace. If completely cutting ties is too difficult or not possible due to various reasons, Consider gradually distancing yourself from negative influences. Reduce the time and energy you invest in such relationships. Focus on positive connections instead. Nurture and invest in relationships that bring positivity, joy, and growth to your life. I believe it's best to surround myself with people who support my goals and values. We all accept the love we think we deserve, right? So prioritize self-care activities like mindfulness, meditation, exercise, hobbies, and people that bring you joy. Taking care of your mental and emotional health is essential during this process. Remember that letting go of people who no longer serve you is not a selfish act. It's an act of self-care and self-preservation. By prioritizing your own happiness and emotional well-being, you create a healthier, more positive, and less cluttered personal life that allows you to thrive and experience less suffering. In much the same way, reducing clutter in your home before you die is a gift to both you and your loved ones. It creates a more peaceful living environment, and it makes it easier for others to manage your possessions when the time comes. By following these tips and approaching the process thoughtfully, you leave behind a legacy of tidiness and order that reflects your life's journey and the things that truly matter. So for experienced support during any stage of life or death, get in touch with me at Anitya Doula Services today. And thank you so much for joining us. Have a good day.